Hi, this is Ashton from Guns&Gear. Today we're going to do a takedown and cleaning of a custom 1911 that we built at Guns&Gear. The first thing that you need to do while working on a firearm is take the magazine out and make sure there's nothing in the chamber. The first step to disassembling a 1911 is to remove the barrel bushing. You do this by taking a bushing wrench, pressing the recoil spring cap down, and rotating the bushing to about the 9 o'clock position. Be careful to keep your hand above the recoil spring cap. When the bushing clears the cap, the recoil spring will launch if you aren't keeping it down. Next, pull out the recoil spring cap and recoil spring. Just lift straight out. Next step is to remove the slide stop. Move the slide back so that the rear rounded slot in the slide is aligned with the rear of the slide stop. Turn the pistol over and locate the back side of the slide stop. Press from shooter's right to left and pull the slide stop out the left of the frame. The slide stop can be a little tight. Just give it a good tug when you can get your fingers under it. Next, remove the slide. Just pull the slide forward off the frame. Next, we disassemble the slide. First, remove the guide rod. We have a one-piece buffer guide rod on this pistol. Next, rotate the barrel bushing by turning counterclockwise to about the 4 o'clock position. Then pull straight out on the bushing. After the bushing is removed, drop the rear of the barrel clear of the slide and pull the barrel out of the front. Turn the slide muzzle end down with a pin punch or similar tool. Press the rear of the firing pin into the slide, then tilt the tool downward to move the firing pin to stop toward the bottom of the slide. This will hold the firing pin in so you can slide the stop downward. Be sure to keep your hand over the firing pin so that when it stops clears, the firing pin doesn't launch across the room. Next, remove the extractor by lifting it with a small tool. A small flat screwdriver or pin punch will do the trick. Next step is to disassemble the frame. Remove the grip panels using a screwdriver or Allen wrench depending on your 1911 screw types. When the scores are removed, you can punch the panels off by reaching into the magazine well and pushing outward. Flip the frame and repeat on the other side. Our next step is to remove the magazine cache. This is done more easily by using a brass hammer or plastic block. Put the frame on the block or hammer. Insert a small screwdriver into the screw on the right side of the frame. Press down lightly on the frame so the stop comes out of the right side of the frame about 1/16 of an inch. Then turn the screw counterclockwise. The stop will pop right out. Next, we're going to remove the mainspring housing. Put a roll of tape on the bench with the mainspring housing pin line above it. With a pin punch and small hammer, tap the pin until it drops out of the bottom. Remove the pin punch. Slide the mainspring housing out of the bottom of the frame. The next step requires you to be cautious with the plunger springs and plungers. Make sure those don't launch on you. Just pull up on the thumb safety and keep your hand behind the plunger tube so you don't lose the springs and plungers. Then pull out the springs and plungers. Now we remove the sear pin and hammer pin. These push out easily from the right to left. Just gently push them with a pin punch until they clear the frame, and pull them out the other side with your fingers. Next, pull the hammer and sear spring out the back of the frame. Turn the frame so that the muzzle end is pointed up. The disconnector will fall out. Push back on the trigger until it can be pulled out. If the sear is not dropped yet, tap the bottom of the grip on the bench gently and it will fall free. Our 1911 is now disassembled. At T2 Guns, we recommend only using products that are known to cause cancer to the state of California. We are going to start out cleaning by soaking the frame and slide in Tetragum. We want to soak them well and let them sit for a while as we clean everything else. Spray the outside of the slide and get it really wet. Get inside the mag well and any openings in the frame, then spray the inside of the slide from the top. Now really get this part wet. You can see the powder recede and gunk start to run off the part. When the frame is soaked well, do the same with the slide. Spray the slide until it's soaked. Get the inside well around the ejection port inside the slide and especially inside the holes at the rear of the slide. Now we are going to let this sit for a while as well. Now we are going to soak a cloth in the cleaning fluid. We can then wipe the smaller parts with a fluid-soaked rag. Just take a clean cloth and wet it down with fluid. Start grabbing parts and wipe them down. For pieces with hard to reach spots, spray them with a fluid directly, then brush them off with a plastic or brass brush. Hard plastic brushes work well and don't damage your finish. If you have really bad buildup on internal parts, you can use a brass brush. When all the small internal parts are clean, go to work on the barrel. Clean the outside with a clear soap cloth. Next, clean around the barrel length with a brush. Then run a boar brush or boar snake through the barrel. I like the boar snake because it will clean with embedded brass bristles. Then pull the reside out with the fabric. You want to pull the snake from the chamber end of the barrel to the muzzle end. Now that the internals are clean, we want to respray the frame and slide lightly with cleaning fluid. This will re-liquefy the gunk that has been loosened from the surfaces. No need to soak it, just dampen it so it will let you wipe off the excess material. If you still have buildup, you can respray those areas and clean them with the brush. Also, a cotton swab will help you get into the hard reach areas. You want to ensure all these areas are really clean. So now we have a clean firearm.
Everyone has lots of